Hey guys, this is Lala Legacy and welcome back to another episode of Seabed. So let's jump right back in. I gave up on thinking and shoved all these thoughts into a mental drawer. I began flipping through the notebook's pages again, looking at the dates. Some I had forgotten, while others were completely unfamiliar to me. But the moment I saw them, they'd reappear in my mind as a memory, as though that was where they were supposed to be all along. As I traced my fingers along the letters of the text, I felt an odd kind of warmth travel from my fingertips all the way to my head. It was a pleasant feeling, all in all. The warmth made my eyes shed hot tears. After I calmed down a bit and sat up, I felt pain in my shoulders. They must have gotten stiff after staying in the same position for too long. I climbed out of bed and stretched my limbs. Then I left the room and took a stroll around the sanatorium. The orange rays of the evening sun illuminated the corridor. Good afternoon, Takako. I turned around to see Mayuko behind me. What were you doing today? You haven't asked me to do anything, so I was reading the diary in my room. Mayuko's eyes shifted to the notebook in my hand. I see. I feel like reading that thing is all you've been doing lately. Oh, I actually finished it just earlier. Mayuko's gaze returned to me. I could feel the warmth of the orange-tinted sunlight on my skin. Did you find anything out? Mayuko asked. It helped me remember a lot of things. I feel like I have a better understanding of what kind of person I am. If I was to liken my mind to my body, I felt as though a missing limb had just been reattached, letting me move more freely. On the other hand, the limbs that were still missing stood out all the more. And now I feel lonelier than before. In what way exactly? Showered by the light, Mayuko made a faint smile. For example, you remember the look of the room you stayed in during the school trip, but not the lobby of the hotel, right? Oh wait, whoops, this is Mayuko, sorry. You tend to forget things that don't matter much, and even the fun memories are not necessarily replicated fully in your head. When you try to remember some of the details, you find that you simply can't. Well, that's the kind of this was Takako. My bad. Well, that's the kind of loneliness I feel now. Mayuko seemed like she had trouble following what I was going on about, but let out a thoughtful moan to indicate that she was paying attention. Perhaps you can't understand that feeling until you become an adult. I'm more of an adult than you. Aren't you simply going through a sentimental episode? Maybe. But I still feel like this kind of feeling gets stronger as you grow older. I see. That's possible. Mayuko's eyes wandered back to the notebook in my hands. I'd love to read that too. Would it be okay for me to borrow it? I held up the notebook. I looked at Mayuko's face, then the notebook, then back to Mayuko. You can have it if you want, but aren't you normally busy with getting dinner ready around this time? That's right. In that case, I'll leave it on one of the shelves in the night duty room. All right. Thank you. I nodded. See you later then. Mayuko continued to the kitchen. In the end, I couldn't ask her about the diary. Mayuko said she'd never seen it before, so if she really was the one who wrote it, there had to be a huge and very serious reason as to why she'd go through so much trouble to cover her tracks. I walked down the moonlit corridor looking at the dim red glow of the emergency lights. I could hear the metal plate strike the wooden pole outside. Light escaped through the gaps of Sanai's door. I gave it a light knock and received a quiet response. Stepping inside, I saw Sanai reading a book in the table lamp's light. Not going to sleep yet? I wasn't feeling sleepy, so I decided to read. What about you? Same here, except I was taking a walk. As I sat down in the cane chair by her bed, I heard a weird high-pitched sound from outside that reminded me of a flute. I've been hearing this a lot in my room lately. Do you think it's a bird? It's new! Or nue. Nue? It's a small bird, also known as the scaly thrush. I made a gesture to show its rough size with my palm. They sound like a whistle. It's kind of creepy. Or whoops, they sound like a whistle. It's kind of creepy. But it instantly becomes better when you realize it's a cute bird, no? I suppose so, Sanai smiled. Aren't you scared to take a walk alone at night? She added. Nah, it's more exciting than doing it during the day. I imagine you've walked past everyone's room. Maybe. I bet the ghost stories we have here all originate from you. Not at all. What do you mean? Sanai knitted her brows. I'm hungry. There's yesterday's jelly in the refrigerator. Can I have it? I opened the small fridge by my feet, finding a single plastic package of tangerine jelly on the top shelf. Go ahead. Thanks! I peeled off the seal with the picture of a tangerine on it, took a little wooden spoon from the package, and began eating the orange jelly. It was cool and had the sweet, sour taste characteristic of citrus fruits. You want some? If I eat this stuff at night, it will only make my stomach feel all cold. I put a spoonful of jelly in my mouth. Let's put on some music. Mayuko won't like it. You think she'd run all the way to your room with complaints? Now that I think about it, we don't have a single TV in this place. Yeah, now that you mention it. Not like it's something I'd use. So aren't you worried we might be missing some vital news or something? What kind, for example? I looked at the ceiling and cocked my head. Like a giant monster approaching our town or something. Sanai chuckled. What kind of monster? A humanoid 15-meter tall anteater that uses its snout to suck people straight into its belly through the windows of their houses. I made the shadow of an anteater with my fingers in the dim light. Now I'm going to be too afraid to go to sleep. We might be in severe danger if we missed an announcement on TV telling us to keep the lights off and not make a sound. Sanai glanced at the window, sorry. These kinds of things just appear in front of the window without warning. Then you've got to run and barricade yourself in the bathroom. Trapping yourself in a confined space in horror movies is basically suicide. I don't think I've ever seen anyone survive that. The moment the character begins praying, you know they're dead. There was one movie with worms that traumatized me. The one where they travel through pipes? That's the one! There was another movie where they had a sudden close-up of a freaky alien's face out of nowhere. I almost got a heart attack. That's the one about the alien that can split into particles and reform, right? Yes, I'm surprised you know that. I used to watch a lot of movies. Is there anything else that scared you? T-Rexes. We pretty much said that at the same time. I get why he decided to take shelter in there, but why did he just keep sitting without doing anything? I guess the writers figured it'd be more fun that way? I suppose so. I yawned. A whiff of wind blew into the room through the partially open window. I narrowed my eyes to see the moon blur and elongate in the distance. Not planning to go to bed yet? I guess I'm starting to feel pretty sleepy. Though my legs still felt heavy as lead, I mustered enough strength to stand up. Good night. Night! I continued to the exit of the room with uncertain steps. See you tomorrow, said Sanai as I opened the door. Yeah, see you! Thanks for the jelly. I returned to my room and threw myself onto the white bed. I wrapped the sheet around myself like a cocoon, letting my consciousness slowly melt into the world of dreams. I dreamed of seeing a 15-meter-high humanoid anteater by my window that made me panic and lock myself in the bathroom. Of course she did. Oh, Takako, you're adorable. I considered falling back asleep when I opened my eyes, but the sun peeking through the gap in my curtains shone right onto my face. No amount of twisting on the bed let me escape the brightness through my eyelids, and when I finally gave up and climbed out of bed to close the curtains, I realized that I wasn't sleepy anymore. I parted the curtains instead. A snow-laden mountain loomed beyond the window. I spotted Kozue standing in front of the door leading to the inner yard. What's up? I can't leave. Kozue turned the doorknob, but the door didn't budge. What are you doing here? I came to see the snow! Well, too bad the door doesn't open. I rolled up my sleeves. Just give me a moment with them. Kozue took a step back as I seized the doorknob. A loud crack reverberated in the room. You've broken it. It's not broken! I have to tell Mayuko about this. Hey, wait, don't do that! Through the window, I could see a pile of snow that would reach up to my knees right outside the door. Well, right outside the door wasn't particularly accurate, as it covered the entire inner yard. Only the big camphor tree still towered high above it all, boasting an elegant white layer of snow on top. I guess I'll try the window! I undid the latch and opened the window, only to be momentarily blinded by the brightness of the snow. Stepping on the windowsill, I jumped outside. My legs sank into the snow below. Whoa, I'm sinking here! I was about to jump back inside, but Kozue walked in front of the window before I knew it, blocking my way. Open the door. I need a shovel to clear this much snow away. You have your hands, don't you? Are you kidding me? Look, my legs are already freezing, okay? Mayuko appeared behind Kozue in the corridor. What are you two doing? We're playing in the snow. Good. Mayuko handed me a shovel through the window. I was looking for you to help me with shoveling the snow. I just so happened to be looking for a shovel too. I stuck the shovel into the snow. I lifted up a shovel full of snow and placed it into the cart behind me. Kozue appeared as well, pushing an empty cart toward me. She stopped the empty cart next to me, moved the snow-filled one, and pushed it away. I continued to shovel snow until Kozue returned with the next cart. Seeing that my cart was still only partially filled with snow, she rattled her own. Jeez, give me a break! I have some business in the library. Go on ahead then, I can shovel the snow by myself. How on earth am I supposed to go? Kozue made an indignant expression. Her legs were shorter than mine by at least one hand's length. I cleared half the way already. It won't take that long. If you start taking breaks, it'll take until noon. Kozue rattled her cart again. Jeez, don't you trust me at all? I trust you about as much as I trust the paper used for goldfish scooping. Have I done anything to you? you bringing that snow anyway? Over there, where Mayuko told me. Mayuko appeared on the cleared up road as we talked. I brought you some coffee. Thanks! And some hot milk for you, Kozue. Kozue took a paper cup from Mayuko. Where's Sanai? Oh, whoops, that was Kozue. She seems to have woken up with a bit of a fever this morning. She's resting in her room right now. It was freezing this morning. Is she okay? It didn't look like anything serious. I finished my coffee and handed the paper cup back to Mayuko. Oh yeah, just listen to this, Mayuko. Kozue said she only trusted me as much as the paper used for goldfish scooping. I once caught 5 goldfish with a single one. Heh, there was actually this one time I almost caught 20. 20? That sounds far too fishy. Is it really true? I'm not lying! Anyway, that's not what I was trying to say. Can you hurry up and shovel the snow already? Kozue egged me on after handing her cup back to Mayuko. With 2 cups in hand, Mayuko turned around and continued to the entrance. I found some ice on the roof, so I'll go try to shatter it for now. Let's take a bath together after we finish with the snow. Sounds great! As I resumed work, I suddenly realized something and turned to Kozue. You can use the connecting corridor to get to the library, right? Borrowing the keys is too much of a pain. Seriously? The door's hinges squeaked as I closed it behind me upon entering the silent lobby. I could hear the rustling of trees and the chirping of birds from outside. The light filtering in through the stained glass above the door lit up the floor. I continued forward, glancing at the astronomical, trinket on the counter. The planet imitations were slowly spinning in the barely perceptible breeze. The contraption suddenly let out a high-pitched bell-like sound. I heard a sound of footsteps, and then Mayuko appeared from the stairs leading to the underground path. Have you finished? Where should I leave this? I held up the shovel in front of her. I took it from the storage room on the 2nd floor. As for the cart, you can leave it in the inner yard. The cart is right by the exit right now. I see. All right. I'll go return your shovel to its place. Where's Kozue? Asked Mayuko as I was about to climb the staircase. She went to borrow some book from the library. I don't think she'll take too long. I'm done preparing the bath, so find a change of clothes and come back. Okay! I ascended the stairs with shovel in hand. From behind, I could hear Mayuko walking to the door. The storage room was located in an extra area between the stairs and the first room on the 2nd floor. Its narrow confines held a large painting in a fancy frame that no one could figure out where to hang, a sofa with a missing leg, an aquarium with tropical fish, and all sorts of otherwise completely unrelated bits and bobs. In the dark room illuminated by a single source of light, I found a stand similar to the one used for umbrellas. I promptly stuck the shovel onto it. So long, partner, till we meet again. I turned off the light and started down the way that I came from, but paused in the middle of the corridor. On my right was Kozue's old room. I placed my hand on the doorknob and slowly pushed the door open. There was only a bed, an empty cabinet, and a closed window inside. It hadn't changed at all since I'd last seen it. I could see the sky above the port town through the window. The light through the said window illuminated the room, unconcerned that its master was gone. I stepped inside and heard the floor creak underneath me. I closed my eyes, but couldn't sense the hard rock floor under my feet, the cold wind blowing through the walls of the narrow cave walls, the low humming that strangled my chest, or even the smell of wet soil and moss. "The bath's ready," a sudden voice from behind left me startled. But that is all the time that I have for this episode, guys. Actually, no, we'll finish this little part. I turned around to see Mayuko with a puzzled expression on her face. Oh, well, I guess that was it. Okay, so thank you guys so much. And if you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up down below. And if you haven't already, subscribe. By subscribing, you're becoming part of a legacy. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.